Hey, how are you? Hope you are doing well. You know who this is. This is the OG of the Ellis house. This is Lily. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to get unstuck in life and kick arsch. Here's the thing. This is what's crazy. I'm going to put her down in a second, but I know you guys love her, so I thought I'd show her to you for a minute. You're never stuck. When you feel you're stuck in life, here, let me put you down, baby. You're never really stuck. It's an illusion, right? And also there's a difference between being stuck and being frustrated. Hey, Camacho, how's it going, man? Feel free to ask any questions you like, Chris. So sometimes we feel like we're stuck, but we're really not. And sometimes if you're frustrated, that's different from being stuck, okay? There's a clear distinction here. Being frustrated just means you haven't moved yet. If you feel you're stuck, then you feel like you have no resources. The resources are always there. It's just that sometimes we don't do what's necessary to have the resources, to use the resources, to access the resources. Sometimes we don't know who to ask to get the resources. The other thing is, oftentimes, people feel stuck because of a story they've been telling themselves. Now, I know this gets a little woo-woo and a little kumbaya. I get it. I know. And there's also some truth to it. Because if you are a person, we all do this. Look, here's the thing I need to really emphasize here, you guys. When I'm teaching something like this, it's because I have gone through this, or I am going through it, or I realize I need to work on it. It's something like that, right? And for me, this is a constant evolution. Like this last weekend, I just went through some great training to learn how to sell a bunch of different things through e-commerce. Tremendous training. Before I took the training, I felt frustrated or stuck. And all it was is that I didn't have the knowledge. That's all it is someone who is unstuck and kicking butt has the knowledge. They did whatever it took to gain the knowledge. And they're not necessarily smarter than you. It's just that they know something specific that you don't. But you may have more vast knowledge about a wide range of things. But does that wide range or vast knowledge allow you to do and become what you want to be? That's the difference. Hey, William Gutshaw, how are you? Welcome back from your holiday. Thanks for joining me. So basically, you guys, if you're just joining us, we're talking about being unstuck. You're never stuck, okay? It's just a matter of perception, and it's a matter of either feeling frustrated or feeling stuck. Frustrated is just that you haven't done it yet. Stuck is that when you don't know you have the resources and you feel kind of lost and isolated, like on an island, okay? That's why you feel stuck, like you're, literally encapsulated in this confined space. So what do? How do you get rid of this? Hey, Angel, how's it going? Thank you for joining. So, look, again, when I talk about this stuff, you guys, it's because I'm going through the same process. I just had a breakthrough, or I know I need to go through it. It's not because I have mastered this and somehow I've arrived at some point where this crap doesn't happen anymore. It always happens. It's just that you get new challenges and new ways of expressing yourself and working through this stuff. The best way, number one, to get unstuck, you ready? Ready? Quit telling yourself stupid stories, all right? Here's the thing. Now, you guys may have heard this kind of analogy before, but I think it's so important, okay? Who you are now is not who you were when you were 5. There is a residual outcome. There isn't a residual effect because of our past experiences. That part's true. But if you felt stuck and didn't have what you needed and you were somehow set aside, cast out, or whatever when you're 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, whatever, that's not who you are now. So you think of it like this. You get a new computer because the old one doesn't move fast enough. You update your software and the operating system in your computer because you need to process more information, because you need to update things, because the outside world continues to move. So you need to update your computer and your software, your operating system. But sometimes we get stuck using the same operating system, our thought processes, our beliefs, and still trying to do things on a bigger scale. And so there's an incongruence. And when you have that, like, just being incongruent in life is not a good thing. But when you're trying to move ahead and you have incongruency, saying things like, I can't, or that's for them, or my family doesn't believe in that, or whatever it is. It's a story. We all tell ourselves stories. So, and be honest with yourself. And this may actually come later. If you can think about this now, ponder this throughout the day, and then come back and let me know what you find out. But what story do you tell yourself? Who are you? Hey, Amy, how are you? I'm glad you guys had a good time in Tennessee. And maybe you're still there. So what story are you telling yourself that is disallowing the progress you say you want? What is that? We all do it. I didn't go to the right school. Well, the good news is, you guys, that 90% of all the jobs in today's market don't require a degree. They don't. They just don't. So unless you want to be like a pharmacist or an attorney or a rocket scientist or something like that, and there are others as well, you don't need a degree. You just don't. And now this is coming from someone. I've earned 4 degrees, and I would take much of it back. Why? Because I spent too much money and way too much time, and I would have done a completely different route. So I thought, inappropriately, as an example, that I had to do that to somehow validate myself to be real and authentic and smart or accepted. And it's all a bunch of crap. It is. And so what story are you telling yourself that is holding you back? Most often it's just the knowledge necessary to do something specific. We, as humans, are really good at being generalists. We have a modest or even a high level of knowledge in a broad spectrum of things, hopefully. But that doesn't necessarily take you where you want to be to get unstuck. Most of us would probably feel unstuck if we got out of one of these buckets, right? Whatever, I'm generalizing, right? This is very stereotypical, but like if we got out of a bad relationship, if we got out of debt, if we got out of poverty, if we got out of this neighborhood, whatever it is, we would be unstuck. What you need to ask is, what actions did I take that allowed me to go there initially? What am I committed to doing now that will get me out of there? And what new story must I tell myself about myself, which will allow me to take the actions needed to move to that new space, personally, professionally, emotionally, psychologically, or geographically, right? You have to tell yourself a new story. This is weird, but as humans, we do this, okay? And the reason I know this to be true is because I had done this in the past. Fortunately, I don't do it anymore, but I had done it in the past, and I know a lot of people I've coached over the years go through the same thing. You ready? They don't think they're worthy. Have you ever experienced that? Well, that's for them. You know, I'm just happy the way I am. I don't need that. All I need is happiness. Why would you think that you can't have something else and happiness? It's like people say, money isn't everything. I just want to be happy. Okay, be honest, think about this, okay? You're driving down the street. You have good health, your family loves you, in a good relationship, everything's going great. And you go down the street, this is a broken down Pinto with a blue door and a bald tire and with a wobble, okay? Here is your dream car, humming along, playing your favorite song with the most ridiculous sound system you ever had. But before you got into each of these cars, you're just equally happy and everything is blissful. Which one is making you feel just a little bit or a lot bit happier? I'm going to guess it's this one over here, right? That's just one example. It could be in your dream home. It could be being able to cross the line of a marathon or whatever it is. So don't get stuck in a story that says that's for other people, or where I come from, I don't do this, or our parents. Here's the thing that will get you stuck too. This really matters a lot. And it is more prevalent in some cultures than others. It is more prevalent in certain regions and different countries than others. But it's things like this. Why would you need to do that? Why would you need to go aspire to do that? Why do you need to have all that money? We love you just the way you are. Has anyone ever said that to you? Anything similar to that? Why do you need to do that? We love you just the way you are. So what are you subconsciously thinking about? You may not have thought about it because it was subconscious. Now that you're consciously thinking about your subconscious, right? That's going down the rabbit hole. If you think that they won't love you if you take those actions, so think back when they say this. Why would you want to do that? We love you the way you are. Why do you need to go and climb that mountain? We love you just the way you are. Why do you feel you need to go do this or that or with those people in that way? We love you just the way you are. Now, this is probably mom and dad, grandpa and grandma, maybe your siblings, maybe your significant other, maybe the person you share a bed with. Why do you need to do that? I love you just the way you are. Well, maybe because I want to, because I have free will and it's my life. I got one shot at this and it's my choice. That's why. But if they say something like that, subconsciously you are thinking, if I do it, they won't love me. Have you ever pondered this? Isn't that crazy? It's sad, and it happens all the time. So if you're a parent and you're watching this, please, 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 please be very careful what you tell your children, because you can be well-intentioned and misdirected. You can be sincere and sincerely wrong all at the same time. So be cautious what you tell your children about things that you do. Well, let me think how to phrase this. This is important to say it right. Be careful how you phrase things preceding the words, because I love you, or anything to do with love, really. Because if you associate the wrong thing with love, or if they do something, the love will disappear, or if they do something, they will get more love, and it may be misdirected some way. That will skew their perspective of how to gain love and seek love and the meaning of love, right? All that stuff matters. It really, really does. So please be cautious about what you tell your kids about that. You're never unstuck, or you're never stuck. So therefore, technically, you don't need to get unstuck. After you change your story, and after you are aware of what pre-programming has taken place in your past, and this isn't enough to fully dissect that, but it's a good start. It's just to be aware. Think about, what were the rituals around, this is a good way to go. What were the rituals around the dinner table when you were growing up? What did they say about people who were star athletes? Well, they don't deserve all that. What about the poor people? Well, there's a great article, by the way. I think it's called The Jordan Economy. It was an Entrepreneur magazine or Forbes or something like that. I forget what it's called. But it was literally how much Michael Jordan put into the economy, billions of dollars a year, because he's a superstar. But people who don't understand macro or microeconomics or trends or externalities of business growth and things like that, and how it disseminates into the community and causes opportunities or creates opportunities for other people, would say things like, well, they're just a rich sports star. They don't deserve it. And therefore, you wouldn't want to aspire to something with greatness like that if your family tells you that, because then you would think that you are somehow undeserving or unloved by your family as well. And it's just crazy. And by the way, my personal opinion, this is just my opinion, is that anyone can command anything they want to earn. You can command whatever you want. And you don't get in life what you deserve. You get in life what you negotiate also. That is also a really, really important thing. And that's what you negotiate with yourself, with your others, your superiors, your siblings, everybody. You get in life not only what you deserve, but instead of actually technically what you negotiate. So what are you negotiating for yourself so you can get rid of that feeling of being unstuck? It goes back to changing your story, changing what you thought you learned in the past. And by the way, so let's just go to like something current, like LeBron James as an example, or someone else like that. No one else can really do what they do. Or like Houston just won the World Series, right? Yay, Houston. After all that stuff you had to go through, that's pretty awesome. So they are deserving of the accolades. They are deserving of the awards. They're deserving of the bonuses. They're deserving of all the external benefits that will come to their team and their MVP and all that. Because no one else can do that, so they have exclusivity there. They earned it, okay? So please don't let someone program you to think that somehow other people aren't deserving of something, and therefore you may perceive that as well. The same thing is true for the CEO and the secretary. And by the way, yes, it could be a man or a woman. I'm not being sexist. Please don't think that. A CEO could be the woman. Wouldn't that be great, right? So that CEO might have a high-level Ivy League education. In that case, that would probably be necessary. They may have more connections. They may have more influence. They may have more technology. They may be multilingual. They may have all those different things. And the secretary, he might be a really nice guy, but not real bright. Maybe he didn't have any formal education, and maybe he didn't desire any additional education, and that's all he got because that's all he's deserved thus far. So there's a huge discrepancy there, and that's okay because it's based on merit what the person earned. Okay, getting a little off track here. Okay, I'm gonna go back. All right. So don't let someone determine if you feel stuck or not. Go back into your past and decide, think about what someone has told you about what's possible for you and others. Then what have you thought about that? And are you telling yourself a story as an example about wealthy people? Because a lot of people have very strange presuppositions. They're presupposing what wealthy people are like. And by the way, wealthy is a very subjective phrase. The top 2% of Americans only have to earn about it varies from state to state, but roughly about $350,000 a year. And you're like a one or 2%er. $350,000 and you live in San Francisco, you're not living large, and you may not even own your own home. That's not huge. So people say, oh, the 1%, blah, blah, blah. That's nothing. It's like $350,000 a year. If you live in San Francisco, New York, Chicago, something like that, you're not living high on the hog. All right. So what is, and right now we're going to switch to the finances specifically. What presupposed thoughts do you have about gaining a lot of wealth? Are you saying that rich people are greedy or they're greedy jerks or something like that? If you say that, and if you believe that, you would also have to believe that if and when you become wealthy, then you'd be a rich, greedy jerk. Why would you be different? Right? Because you said they're that way. So love and embrace what you want. You can't say that something is bad and then also want to move towards it, right? You don't do that. You say, man, I love that. I want to be a champion. You move towards it. You can't say, oh, those rich people are jerks, and then to say, I want to be a rich person, but I'm different. That's not going to be me. It's everyone else, but not me. Tim Ralston, what do you say here? I retired at 35 with a 9th grade education. I know you're doing really well, though. Starting my first corporation at 16, had to give a power of attorney, or you had power of attorney. Okay, got it. I dared the world to impose limits. And no, I know, oh, Tom, I said Tim. Tom, I know, that's great, and you're doing well. So that is super, super cool. Look, formal education, look, I'm not knocking formal education. I have 4 degrees, I said that. But there's something about real world education also that teaches you application. That's really, really important. Because oftentimes we learn things that are academic in nature, and it's so structured and confined and hierarchical that we don't know how to utilize it. Look, think of it like this. If formal education was a direct correlation with wealth, then every PhD would be a multimillionaire and billionaire. And the fact is that most PhDs probably earn, $70,000 to $220,000 a year, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. The American household income average is like, what, 55,000, something like that? So that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. It's way above average. But there's a lot of people who dropped out of college, didn't finish high school, that are billionaires too. In fact, if you look at most of the really, really wealthy people, that like the people that are doing incredible things in the world, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs passed away, but changed our world, right? How many of you have an iPhone? And Sir Richard Branson, They either didn't go to college or they dropped out of college. And they're changing the world more than anyone. So don't let someone tell you you have to do a particular thing to be successful. That's another thing. You're not stuck because you did or did not do something in the past. It's from this point forward and what you decide to do with your new knowledge, right? Yes, totally. Tom said you totally agree. Love and embrace what you want. In today's society has come to want to look rich, but those who are successful, but yet down to those that are successful. That is an odd thing. I think a lot of that's political, and I'm not going to get into that. But look, it's this simple. If there are fewer wealthy people, and you have to, with any political thing, okay, and I'm not going to dive deep into this, but this is just some psychology here. You always have to have, no matter what side of the political fence you're on, you always have to have an us versus them. That's just the way it works. It works that way with sports. It works that way with movies, right? You have to have a villain and a good guy. It's just the way it works. It works that way with novels and everything else. So with politics, they have to do that too. They have to have the good and the bad. And if there are fewer wealthy people, statistically, but there are a lot of people who want to be that, but somehow may be envious, maybe, it's easy to gather the masses and say, they're all bad. And that's not true. And by the way, statistically, and I want to get this right. Someone can check this. The top 2 or 3% of income earners pay over 60% of all taxes. Again, the top 2% of income earners in the United States pay over 60% of all taxes, all of it, for the United States. So you can't say it's unfair. You can't say they're not paying their fair share and all that crap, because that's just not true. Statistically, it's not true. So anyway, this is not a political discussion. I don't like all that stuff, but sometimes people want to know some of the statistical data. So give me a break. Here. I literally need a break. Drink of water. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, you guys. Look, I would love to help you. If you want some coaching, some mentoring, if you want to do the Penthouse Group or whatever, go to my website, johnspencerellis.com, johnspencerellis.com. I have a bunch of stuff. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at John Spencer Ellis, and you can find my name on YouTube as well. So I'm happy to help you with whatever I can. And I'm going to start doing more of these. But look, here, in short, let me wrap this up. Don't feel you're stuck. If you feel that sensation at all, you're not. You're not stuck in any relationship, because you can bail out. People say, I'm stuck in this relationship, and whether it's abusive or whatever, or the person's a jerk, or you moved on, you fell out of love, and you're in love with someone else, you can move on. You're never stuck, okay? There are consequences to the actions, but you're never stuck. You're never stuck in your financial situation. All you have to do is make a decision, do something different, change your expenses, increase your income, get a second job, start a business, or do all of those things. You can do it all. No one is holding you back. Like, let me ask you something, and I don't want to get too far off track here, but, oh wait, per CNBC, the top 1% pay nearly half of all income tax. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, okay, so CNBC says the top 1% of income earners in the United States pay nearly half of all income taxes for everyone in the United States. So if you ever thought that somehow it was unfair, stop it, because there you go. Okay, so now I forgot where I was gonna go with that. Okay, so relationships, if you're feeling stuck, finances, or whatever. You have choices. You're never, ever, ever stuck. Think about this. The word decide, the Latin root is to cut off from, like side, decide, like scission, like incision, right? Do you know that word? Incision, to make an incision is to cut. To decide, like scission, is to cut off from any other possibility. So the Latin root is the same there. So when you make a decision, you cut off from any other possibility except exactly what you want. So, I know what I was going to ask you. This is why I have a challenge with ADD. It hasn't held me back, but it is a challenge at times. All right. So let me ask you something honestly, and you just reflect on this for a second and be honest with yourself. What have you done today to move past a major sticking point in your life? Today. So let me just go, like, a relationship, your fitness, your diet, drug or alcohol addiction, your finance, starting a business, going to the gym, preparing for an event, I don't know, whatever it is, did you take massive, huge, relentless, ridiculous action on that today? Well, then if you did, awesome, keep going, build upon that the next day as well. If you didn't, what you just told me is it's not important to you. That's it. So you can't say I'm stuck. What you should just say is I don't care. You get it? The lower something is on your priority list, the less likely it will become that you will do it. So you can't just say I didn't get around to it or it didn't happen. Why don't you just say it's not important to me, or it lacks importance, or on my list of to-dos or important things it's just low. So don't lie to yourself. I think that's really, really important. We're really good at lying to ourselves about what's important, what we're going to do, who we are, who we're going to become, what we're going to accomplish. Humans are really good at bullshitting themselves and other people. Please don't do that. One of the most important things you can do, most important, is to be honest with yourself, even if it hurts, especially when it hurts. You have to be honest with yourself, because if you're not, what's the point, right? How can you know where you want to go if you don't know where you currently are? Think about that. How do you know where you want to go if you currently don't know where you are? So if you are in your car or using your iPhone and you're going to use GPS, and you put in, they say, where do you want to, or the lady's voice comes on, what's your destination? Input your destination. You like that? You like that? My automated voice. And you put in your destination, 50 miles away, whatever it is. And then it says, we need your current location. Can I use your current location? And then you lie about your current location to your GPS. Will you get to your destination? Maybe, but it's going to take a lot longer. And you might get in an accident, and things might get screwed up. You might go the wrong way down a one-way street. The same is true with life. You have to input the data correctly and honestly where you're at now in your life. You can't say, my finances are great if they suck, because then your brain won't get the right message to do the things necessary to fix it. That's just the way it works. A lot of people will say, well, just imagine, and you'll be there, and like rainbows and unicorn farts and stuff like that. And that's a bunch of bullshit. Your brain is smarter than you think. Isn't that funny that we say that about our brain? So if you keep telling yourself lies, your brain won't do what is right. And it knows you're full of crap, but it also doesn't have a clear path. So you have to input proper data so you can have the correct output. So are you lying about your health? Yeah, I'm healthy. And you wake up in the morning and you're achy and you're screwed up, or I'm happy in my relationship. Well, when's the last time you had sex? And you're like, man, I have no idea. Unless you guys agreed upon that, that's probably a messed up relationship, right? Or I have my dream house. Is it really, or have you settled for it? Or have you changed things? Maybe it's not as important to you anymore, and maybe it's not your dream house, but it's the house that you decided will suit you best. That's okay as well. You can change your goals along the way. Whatever it is, you must be honest with yourself. Super, super important. And guys, listen, we're better at this than women. And what I mean is that we're better at lying and bullshitting about who we are and our position in the world and our physical attributes or whatever it is. We're really good at lying to ourselves and other people about it. It's just what dudes do. It's not good, it's not right, it's not appropriate, and yet it happens more often than not. I'm not saying ladies are immune from this, but the guys are even better at it. And it has to do with testosterone and ego and bravado and the bro club and all that crap. Just be honest. Just be honest. Hey man, I need help. One of the most important things you can do is ask for help. I'm going to leave with this, okay? Dumb people say, I already know that. Smart people say, I don't know, please teach me. I'm going to repeat that one more time, and we're going to wrap this up. Dumb people say, I already know that. Smart people say, I don't know, please teach me. It's that simple. Be receptive to information, and you will move past that illusion of being stuck because you never were. All right? That's it. I'm happy to help you guys. I'm going to sign off here. Please go to my website. I have a bunch of cool free training videos and stuff like that. And if you haven't seen my short biographical story, it's on the website as well. Just click on coaching and then take the coaching quiz. It's on there. That's it. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope this was enjoyable for you. And thanks for your contributions, Tom. I appreciate that. Enjoy yourself. All right? You guys be nice to each other and others, and go take action right now. Okay, see you later.